it's your girl Noelle Blue, and this is another episode of In Real Life, where I tell you guys about something that we were reading in a book that would actually happen in real life. This one is all about The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, not the movie, the actual series, written in actually 1900 by Frank Baum. So we know Wicked and the Wicked Year series was a magical retelling of The Wizard of Oz as from the perspective of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West. But did you know that the original Oz series was published 95 years before the one we know and love today? Yeah, well, it was. It was actually published in 1900 even by the author Frank Baum. And this in real life is dedicated to his entire series and a couple of fun facts about the movie that I bet you guys didn't know. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was published, like I said, back in 1900 by American children's author Frank Baum. By his death in 1919, he had written 13 other books, as well as 41 other novels, excluding about 4 books that were never published, 83 short stories, 200 poems, and about 42 scripts. The only one that I am actually aware of that went to full production was the Wizard of Oz movie that came out in 1939. It's the only one that I actually can recall being put into production. But he actually published The Wizard of Oz, the children's story, when he was 44 years old and then died 19 years after that happened. Most of the characters from our Wicked series seem to actually come from the original Wizard of Oz. Characters like Bach and the Wicked Witch of the West, the East, even Mumby, which is a character I didn't find out about until Dorothy Must Die. 2 characters that were not a part of the original Wizard of Oz, Madame Morrible and Dr. Delamon, the Big G Goat. Those seem to have been specifically created for Wicked itself. The Wizard of Oz was actually welcomed with critical acclaim when it first came out back in 1900 and is actually now a classic among American literature. A well-known children's story, it was considered a modern-day fairy tale. The original story was considered a political allegory by most economists. The book is actually said to be inspired by the real-life economic struggle during the gold standard in the early 19th century. Did you know that during the filming of The Wizard of Oz, several tragedies occurred? Such as the original guy who was playing the Tin Man, he was allergic to the silver dust that they used in his makeup. As he was recovering from respiratory issues, hives, what have you, he was actually replaced by the guy we know who played the Tin Man. And that particular individual was sewn into a super stiff costume that was so uncomfortable he could not sit down. When he needed to take breaks and when they yelled cut, he actually had to lean up against a leaning board. That was an actual thing. It was called a leaning board. Other costume malfunctions would be the Cowardly Lion's super hot, real authentic lion hide costume that was dangerously close to giving him heat exhaustion. Other situations that occurred during that time was the tragic burning of the actress Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, and her stunt double, who also suffered some serious injuries after a trapdoor failed to drop out. They were drugging Judy Garland the entire time. She was given a steady stream of adrenaline to keep her peppy during the shooting scenes, and then they would give her something called Seconal to help her sleep. Among other crazy things that they did to Judy, that would honestly be one of the worst in my opinion. The snow in the poppy field scene was actually straight asbestos, which we are not supposed to be inhaling, and so was the Scarecrow's costume and the Wicked Witch's broom. All of those were made from carcinogenic materials. A little known fact is also that it is generally accepted that Dorothy is from Kansas, but no one ever says where. Frank Baum didn't actually specify a location. In 1981, a house was moved from the grounds, to the grounds of the Coronado Museum and transformed into a replica of Dorothy Gale's house, and that is all located in Liberal, Kansas. So in around 1981, Liberal, Kansas finally claimed the right to say that Dorothy lives here. They also moved a 5,000 square foot land of Oz directly across from her house. So now you can go to Liberal, Kansas to visit both Dorothy Gale's house and the land of Oz, which is actually made out of 100% recyclable materials. And you can visit them for $7 even. Special thanks to the Where the Sphere from Reddit, who actually did the math to confirm this next fun fact. According to the original novel, despite Dorothy only being asleep for a few hours, she was actually in Oz approximately 52 days between traversing from Munchkinland to the Emerald City, back to the Witch, and then back to the Emerald City. It took about 52 days before Glinda actually sent her home. Final fun fact for the Wizard of Oz. Just like in Wicked, Dorothy didn't have ruby slippers. They were also silver in the original novel. However, MGM studio heads decided that since the movie Wizard of Oz was going to be in Technicolor, the red of the ruby slippers would show up better against the yellow of the Yellow Brick Road. So instead of making them silver, they changed them to red. And that's about it for this episode of In Real Life. Did you learn any new fun facts? Make sure you leave a comment below. Bye.